During Sonic Central 2024, the craziest and final trailers for Sonic X Shadow Generations dropped. Since the announcement in PlayStation State of Play at the end of January, we've had lots of music, demos, and trailers that I'm gonna shove all into this one video. Got it? Let's go. The game's announcement trailer starts with a bunch of clips of Sonic Generations gameplay that are basically just the original game, but with 60 frames. It switches to the opening cutscene when Shadow appears. Then it transitions to what everyone came for, Shadow Generations. It shows off gameplay from the Space Colony arc, along with his chaos-controlled homing attack. Doom's Eye appears in an amazing-looking mid-level cutscene, introducing a returning villain for the game. After suddenly appearing in a distorted Radical Highway, it cuts to the Biolizard, who now has these limbs created from its pink orbs, but then he gets immediately thrashed by Shadow. Although this trailer didn't show many of the zones for the game, the introduction of Black Doom got a lot of people thinking about the story because he died back in 05, but time travel, I guess. After 5 months of slow news, we're finally blessed with a new trailer during Summer Games Fest, and wow does it show a lot. First of all, there's Rail Canyon from Sonic Heroes, so now Shadow can finally dodge these trains without risking his life. Right after that, it shows the distorted Radical Highway is actually part of the Space Colony arc level. Shadow also slows down time while dodging the Rail Canyon trades, so we can use Chaos Control at any point during the game. Wait, they have Kingdom Valley? Sonic Team really decided to reach into the depths of 06 to pull levels for this game. As great as it looks, it also shows proof that the game isn't entirely 3D, but right at the end, Shadow is overcome by some energy from Black Doom and then grows wings? Yup, according to the website, these are Doom powers and there's gonna be more of them. Right below that on the website shows off the fully 3D hub world, inspired by Sonic Frontiers Islands. The very end of the trailer shows the pre-order and digital deluxe bonuses that include Gerald's journal, a Sonic Adventure skin, an additional level and skin for Shadow, a subscribe button, extra background music, and a Terrio skin? Just take my money. They're referencing something that has never been canon before, and this is amazing. What do you mean there's more? There's a playable demo? With what? Good level design? There are alternate paths that actually make a difference, shortcuts that require boost jumping, the game isn't completely automated, the level is almost 6 minutes long, and it has an amazing remix of Final Rush. The demo also includes the Biolizard fight, which takes great inspiration from the original, but adds new phases, another amazing remix of Supporting Me, and hands? After the demo, this game could be good. Not just good, but great. Sonic fans are genuinely excited for a game. Oh, Sonic Generations added a drop dash for both Sonics and a Sonic Jam skin for Classic Sonic. Barely over a month later, the Shadow dropped another trailer, this one comparing the 3 stages we know of in the game to their originals. It doesn't seem like it adds much, but we get more footage of Rail Canyon and Kingdom Valley, along with hearing 2 great remixes, and then also bullet stations. Somehow, this trailer managed to create some controversy because Shadow Generations apparently adds a yellow filter to everything that the original games don't have. I don't even know why people care, but Sonic fans will be Sonic fans. Over the next 3 weeks, they released the full songs for Kingdom Valley and Space Colony Arc Act 1, which were received extremely well, just like the next trailer 1 month later. The trailer starts out great, giving us a better view of the fully 3D whitespace and how well the world is connected. But then, Black Doom takes over Shadow's mind and gives him more powers. Starting with the Doom Spear, which does have a slight difference from Shadow's normal Chaos Spears, since he can shoot all 5 at once rather than 1 at a time. But hey, what is that place? What do you mean by Sunset Heights? Yeah, that's apparently Sunset Heights from Sonic Forces. I still can't see it, but we all will later. Oh, and Radical Highway is its own stage, not just part of the arc. After that is my favorite power, the Doom Lunge, which beats up an enemy, throws it into the air, and launches it. It seems to have some good integration into the game, since it can be used to destroy overworld obstacles and can be aimed to hit switches. The strangest power is the Doom Morph, which looks like it came from another series, but it's able to stick to any of this purple ground and use these orbs as lassos. I hope it's not automated like in Chaos Island? Yep, that's our 6th known stage, from a game that Shadow wasn't in and takes place after Generations. You know what, if we can have Crisis City 200 years in the future that shouldn't even exist because the timeline was fixed and reset, we can have Chaos Island. The Doom Morph also has a way to give it a short boost of speed, which means it likely has no momentum. The next power is the Doom Wing that seems to be activated after air boosting, and it doesn't lose any altitude. This part also shows off what appears to be Space Colony Arc Act 2. Since Act 1 of the arc was only 3D, I think that all Act 2s are going to be mostly 2D levels. But finally, we have the Doom Surf, which has its own diagonal quickstep, and we get to see a lot of the white space, including Space Colony Arc with Omega right next to it, which means that Shadow has to rescue his own friends, a black Doom chest in an area made just for the Doom Morph. Oh hey, who's that? Our second boss fight against Metal Overlord fought in Final Fortress. Wow, that's a lot for one trailer. Surely it won't get crazier. So Gamescom 2024 had the same public demo shown at Summer Games Fest, but at the same time, certain outlets were able to release full gameplay of Kingdom Valley Act 1 and the Metal Overlord boss. Kingdom Valley is just an improvement on everything that the Arc did well, but using the stomp on these ropes allows for even more split routes. It also shows off the well-hidden music and art collectibles that are placed in the level. Doom Surf is used to replace the hover machine from 06, and it does a much better job. This level was received pretty well, especially for its level design, although Metal Overlord got some criticism, mainly because of its on-rails nature and repeating the same attacks, along with the lack of a remix for What I'm Made Of, but hopefully we can assume it's just not done yet. The demo shows off another Chaos Control ability that functions similar to the Lightspeed Dash, but it can only be used with these green orbs. Even after all of this, the news didn't slow down. The Japanese Sonic Twitter account posted some new screenshots of Chaos Island that shows the exploding volcano, which led to lots of new theories. We got some epic looking key art from the game that shows a new form of Black Doom that might be Shadow's final boss. The Chaos Island Act 1 music was posted, which became another controversy because people didn't like it. To be fair, I also didn't like it at all when it first came out, but after listening to it over and over, it's grown on me to the point where it's in my head constantly. Anyways, we finally made it to the Sonic Central 2024 and the final trailers for Sonic X Shadow Generations. Get ready for this one, cause there's a lot to unpack. We start with a cutscene of Maria and Gerald waking up Shadow, and then it goes to the white space where Shadow meets Black Doom. One of the best remixes so far of Sunset Heights is playing, and Shadow immediately attacks his eye. There's a lot of gameplay of Radical Highway, one where the buildings break into these platforms, then they curve to create a tunnel, then the bridge turns into this long, strange purple tube, and Shadow's even grinding on the rails while the city itself is upside down. This is crazy! And right after that, we see the Red Gate Bridge from Sonic Forces. That's all the proof that I need. Shadow finally takes control of his Doom powers, while the new form of Black Doom from the key art is in the background, so this might be the final boss, which also takes place in Radical Highway. And then we see our first rival fight against Mephiles the Dark. I know a lot of people predicted this, I even assumed he would be here since he literally takes the form of Shadow, but it was still really cool to see. We see some gameplay of 2D levels which are in the Arc and Sunset Heights, and then Shadow starts grinding on the Death Egg robots, making them more than just background set pieces. The Time Eater comes out of nowhere and then rewinds Shadow back to the white space where he sees Maria and Gerald in the distance. Right as the Sonic Central was happening, IGN posted a PS5 specific trailer that shows off more of the new gameplay. Right at the start, this trailer shows a CGI version of the Shadow rival fight from Generations, so it might actually be something that Shadow does against Sonic 2. It shows more footage of Radical Highway, as if we hadn't had enough, but it includes 2 more of those tunnel sections with the buildings. One of them looks a lot more like Speed Highway, while the other one's much more open than the others. After this, it shows some clean gameplay of Sunset Heights in 3D, where the sky is much less orange than it is in Forces. Maybe this takes place after the war, but the Death Egg robots might still be active. It also better shows a transition from the city to Green Hill, and I think it'll be like Act 1 of the Arc, where it changes to another location without them being 2 separate levels. And finally, there's some more clips of Sunset Heights that look very similar to the original version in enemy territory. When I started working on this video, I was gonna end it here, but then I randomly clicked on the State of Play and saw the announcement of the Digital Deluxe DLC pack. The final trailer for Sonic X Shadow Generations is about the Sonic 3 Movie Pack DLC. In this pack, the new skin is Movie Shadow, while the stage is inspired by scenes from the movie itself. What definitely surprised me was that the movie Shadow is also voiced by Keanu Reeves for this DLC, which is really cool. Shadow also enters from a teleportation ring from the Sonic movies, which looks very similar to the big ring found in the Final Horizon. The level seems to contain multiple different looking environments, from the Tokyo streets where Shadow fights Sonic and friends in the trailer, and an underground construction site. One important detail is in Shadow's jump ball, which looks much nicer since it's based on the movie, but almost anything is better than Forces and Frontiers' jump ball. Not much of the pack was shown, but I didn't expect the announcement this soon. It also came with the release date of December 12th, right before the movie comes out. So after 8 months, we've seen 6 zones, 5 new powers, 3 boss fights, some amazing remixes, and positivity in the Sonic community. That's not something we usually see when a game gets closer to release. Ever since the marketing cycle of Sonic Forces, I feel like we've all been hesitant to be excited for something because it might not be good. But if anything, Sonic X Shadow Generation shows that Sonic Team can do some things right before a game comes out. After the Summer Games Fest trailer, I haven't heard any important controversies about it. People have been genuinely excited for this game, so the ball's in your court, Sonic Team. If you enjoyed this recap of Shadow Generations info, I hope you subscribe, and you should also check out my review on Sonic Generations to see if it's really as good as we thought.